Hello, and welcome to Campus Connection. I'm Georgina de los Santos.
And I'm Andy Reyes. On today's show, we'll talk about the upcoming minimum wage increase. We'll see what makes the student union so popular, and we'll explain how to avoid graduation woes.
And we'll discuss campus card safety, visit with the Cal State Long Beach baseball team, and we'll see what makes the Japanese garden so relaxing.
California's minimum wage is set to increase early next year. Let's see how this will affect students at the beach. Here's Sarah Church with more.
At Cal State Long Beach, you will find students busy at work, not only in classrooms, but also as employees in numerous departments and venues across the campus. Many of these students work for minimum wage, which is set to rise to $7.50 on the first of the year and again to $8 on January 1st, 2008.
I think there is the possibility that that increase to the minimum wage will impact students here at Long Beach. Obviously, we have a grouping, about 28% of our current student population that is making below $8 an hour, so it'll be a big boost for them.
After vetoing two other bills during his term that intended to raise minimum wage, Governor Schwarzenegger finally signed the bill that will make California's minimum wage the highest in the nation.
If you look at comparing this increase to what is the federal increase of $5.15 an hour, this is a big jump.
Critics of the bill believe that higher minimum wages motivate students to leave school early and start working full-time. But most students agree that the increase will only help them pay for their education at CSULB.
The extra money I make in the increase in minimum wage, I'll probably spend it on books or tuition costs.
The nearly 20% increase in minimum wage means that a student who works 20 hours a week will be racking in over $1,000 extra dollars each year.
Considering I'll work about 24 hours a week and I'm making an extra $1 an hour, I'll have an extra $24 a week. So that means that I get to eat a little bit better.
But where will Cal State Long Beach find the additional money to fund their student employees?
We would not be funded for this increase, so it would be on the individual departments who are hiring students to fund this increase to $8 an hour, because we would not receive that funding from the Chancellor's office for the campuses.
The raising of minimum wage is not expected to affect the state's public education budget. However, schools will soon adjust their payrolls according to the increase. But don't worry, tuition costs are not expected to rise to compensate for the difference. Reporting for Campus Connection, I am Sarah Church.
When we come back, we'll take you to one of the most exciting places on campus that many students are unaware of.
I remember when it first hit me. Applied energy in a forward direction equals human locomotion.
What does this all mean, Doc?
Well, it changed life as we know it.
I thought, wow, this concept might actually change the way we get from point A to point B. I felt like Einstein inventing the telephone.
I give you the human foot.
Get up, get out, get moving. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Welcome back to Campus Connection.
Students at Long Beach State do more than just study and attend classes. For over 35 years, the gaming area in the University Student Union has offered a variety of entertainment choices for students. Here's Casey Kavanaugh with the story.
Tucked away at the University Student Union lies the gaming area, where students at Cal State Long Beach go pass the time and have fun in between classes.
The University Student Union gaming area makes students feel like they're not even on campus, with a fun-filled, entertaining area that offers exciting options such as ping pong, bowling, video games, TV and movie area, and just a place to kick back and sleep.
Student Union is pretty diverse. You have a lot of options. You can do whatever.
Cal State Long Beach started the Student Union gaming area so students could have a home away from home and a place to go without having to stress about classes and homework.
But we also think students get a place to call home when they're not at home. You'll hear a lot of people talk about the union's my home away from home. And that's what we try to sell ourselves at. It's a place where it's their building, they pay for it, and they can feel comfortable being themselves.
Bowling alleys and billiards continue to raise their prices while the union realizes that some students may not have much money to spend. With dollar per game bowling specials and only $4.50 for an hour of playing pool, the union makes these options reasonable and worthwhile. Plus, all the money spent goes back to students.
One of the big benefits for students is that every dollar spent in the game center is returned back because it's part of ASI, the Associated Students. They run the University Student Union. So every dollar that's spent in the union goes back to keep student fees lower.
For those Cal State Long Beach students who have not checked out the game area in the University Student Union, they are in for countless hours of entertainment and excitement. Their hours are from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. and Saturday from 11 to 7:45 p.m. This is Casey Kavanaugh reporting for Campus Connection.
Thanks, Casey. Now I know where to go on a Friday night.
Graduation deadlines are approaching fast, and seniors, this means it's time to put everything in order. April King has a story.
Most students start their academic career with one goal in mind, to become a graduate. Once the credits are completed and it's time to walk across the stage, what are the necessary steps to realize that goal?
Well, if the student has followed the plan, the curriculum plan, along the way, probably it's not too difficult. Okay. The ones who do have problems usually are ones who haven't read the catalog and who haven't regularly consulted any advisor.
One of the most important steps is to meet with an academic advisor. This way, you know if there are extra units needed or if your units are even valid toward your degree.
I actually did meet with the academic advisors as well as the Career Development Center as well as the advisor for my department.
Next, you have to complete a request to graduate form. Then you must go to Enrollment Services in the Brotman Hall building and stand in line to file the forms and pay the necessary fees.
It's just the whole process is kind of tedious. You have to stand in a long line. It's not something that can be processed like online. Like almost everything else in the campus is processed online, and this is something that you have to wait in line for, and like if you don't have the correct type of payment, it can be stressful. So I just think the whole process is not very efficient for the type of campus that we are on.
Taking these basic steps should ensure that after 4 or more years at a university, a student can walk across the stage and receive a diploma. However, for many students, getting to graduation can be difficult.
It was very unclear what I needed to get done first.
There are resources available to assist students during this process, but the student has to be proactive.
I just happened to type in graduation on the internet on Cal State Long Beach website, and if I hadn't done that on my own, I don't think I would have ever known.
Brotman Hall, CSULB's website, and the university catalog are some of the resources available to assist students with their requirements and deadlines for graduation.
College is supposed to prepare students for the real world, and Cal State Long Beach is no exception. Stay on top of requirements, deadlines, and paperwork needed to advance to the next level. I'm April King, reporting for Campus Connection.
Thanks, April. When we come back, we'll take a look at an unknown danger facing students on the campus.
Guys, what do you got? Got a 28-year-old black male, got 3 gunshot wounds to the chest. 1 upper chest, 1 lower chest, 1 center. Bleeding a lot.
There are 2 paths a child can take.
Sir, try not to move. Still.
We have a 28-year-old male.
For over 25 years, we've been helping children choose the right one. Communities and schools, helping kids stay in school and prepare for life.
Cal State Long Beach students are plagued daily by campus vehicles commonly known as carts. Recently, the safety of these carts has come into question. Here's Rod Spear with more.
Campus carts are seen daily driving across the CSULB campus. Most students and faculty assume that they are harmless. However, the facts tell a different story.
The only bad experiences was actually being in the cart. I was a passenger, and the driver couldn't tell how wide the cart was, and she accidentally ran into another cart. It was a little bit scary, but I mean, it was at a slow pace, so nobody got hurt.
Not only are the carts sometimes dangerous, but for some students, it is just plain annoying.
It's just, I was on my way, just walking on one of the pathways here, and it's just really annoying because he couldn't get around me or whatnot, but I just felt someone following me, and then I look back and it's him, and there's just no way of him getting around, and it was just really annoying.
Pedestrians are often disregarded by drivers, such as in this case, where a cart zips between 2 students. And here, we even see a cart blatantly run a stop sign. Many of those that use the carts, such as the maintenance and facilities staff, agree that cart safety is an issue.
If they painted them a brighter color to make them a little more obvious to somebody out of a corner of their eye, it might, improve visibility as well as a horn.
Facilities and management went on to explain to us that in addition to coloring the carts more brightly and adding the horns, that some of the maintenance needs to be improved as well. Often some of these carts, specifically the ones that are used for trash maintenance, rust out and leave a slime trail on sidewalks, which cause some students to slip and fall. Though many students have had a negative experience with these carts, some others have not.
I did see those carts quite a few times going around the campus, but I have never bumped into one of those, any bad situations. I just see them passing by.
Although you may not have had a bad experience encountering these carts on campus, many students have, and it remains very clear that they are a viable threat to student safety. We can only hope that in time, this issue will be resolved or at least improved upon. This is Rod Spear for Campus Connection.
Thanks, Rod.
The Cal State Long Beach baseball team, known as the Dirtbags, has been to 4 college baseball World Series and has sent over 20 players to the major leagues. Francisco Rivera discusses the success of the program.
This is where it all starts, the Field of Dreams. Blair Field is the home of the Dirtbags since 1989 and has seen them accomplish major success. Now, this is where they'll want to be someday, trying to follow the footsteps of their former teammates. A major league ballpark is a freeway of hopes, the ultimate goal for any Dirtbag player.
My dream's always been to get to the majors. It's been what I've been working for since I was a little kid, and I'm going to try as hard as I can, put all the effort I have into being able to accomplish that.
The program has had to fight past inconsistency, at times lower resources than other programs. However, the Dirtbags have started sending players to the majors due to their characteristic style of play.
It's the down and dirty, whatever it takes to win, outside of outright cheating. But to play the game real hard and either outwork or outthink the opponent. So that's kind of what the Dirtbag deal is.
In the history of the program, Long Beach State has exported 23 players to the major leagues, excelling primarily at shortstop. The current starter at the position, sophomore Danny Espinosa, is taking things step by step.
Well, with the guys making it to the bigs, it doesn't really build, I don't think, extra pressure. I think you just want to strive to do what they've done. You strive to be, as greater than they've been, and so you can make a name for yourself.
But it's not easy for any player to make it to the major leagues. Scouts usually look for players with the right attitude.
I think what a player needs is you got to have tools. I mean, obviously you have to have the tools, but I think a big thing is you have to have a heart. You have to have heart. It's not just about the money. You have to really enjoy playing the game. You have to love the game, and I think that's a lot what they're starting to look for now.
This practice field at Cal State Long Beach has seen the likes of Jared Weaver, Bobby Crosby, and Troy Tulowitzki build a successful path into the major leagues. But let's not forget, many of these players are still really talented and may be joining the peers at the majors pretty soon. Reporting from Campus Connection, this is Francisco X. Rivera.
When we return, we'll visit an on-campus sanctuary where you can escape the pressures of everyday life.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone? And in the process, maybe learn something yourself. Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Welcome back. The Japanese Garden has become one of the most beautiful and widely utilized public gardens in Southern California. Georgina gives us an inside look.
Lorraine Miller Collins gifted the construction of the Japanese Garden to the university in 1981 in memory of her late husband, Earl Burns Miller. Today, more than 60,000 people visit the garden every year.
We're a gathering place. It's a place for people to come for special events or for learning experiences such as a lecture or a workshop. And also we do make the garden available for rent for weddings and anniversary parties and other events. So this is a well-used, well-loved garden.
The Japanese Garden brings the community together year-round through its various events. Public events such as the Chrysanthemum Show, tea ceremonies in the Garden Tea House, and educational events such as classes in Japanese horticulture, the arts, origami, bonsai, and orchids. Among the events featured are also fundraising events such as the koi auction.
The koi auction is
each year we have a large number of koi donated from alumni or Japanese garden enthusiasts, and the koi in the pond reproduce. So we end up with a lot more than we can actually keep there. So to keep the fish from dying of starvation and whatnot, we auction them off to the bidders.
In the garden, every element is significant, from the varied colors to the texture of the plants, the sound of the cascading waters, and even the graceful movement of the koi are all vital to the overall setting.
I like to pet them, and I said if you start feeding them on the other side of the pond, they'll all start racing over to you. I said if they had feet, they would climb out of the pond. And so I just think it's a really, really great place.
The garden has become more than a place to see and admire. It has become a place where many come to relax.
So like to come here and like relax or something. And they even said that people come here to like do homework, be alone. Like some people like even come here and sleep. I was like, wow.
The Earl Burns Miller Japanese Garden is a place where the Long Beach community comes together to celebrate diversity. This is Georgina de los Santos, reporting for Campus Connection.
Wow, Georgina, I didn't know that place existed.
You're right. A lot of students don't know about the gardens. We want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of Campus Connection. I'm Georgina de los Santos.
And I'm Andy Reyes. We hope that you will join us for our next edition of Campus Connection.
For me, it's giving the best of myself.
For me, it's the professional team environment and the mutual respect that I share with my colleagues.
For me, it's providing my patients with the best and safest care possible.
For me, it's having the latest in healthcare technologies and the privilege of providing the best healthcare to America's veterans.
We are the nurses of VA.
VAcareers.com, a career in caring.
As gas prices continue to rise, vehicles such as a hybrid could be the answer to saving some money. Amber Jacobson has more.
Gas-guzzling vehicles often put a dent in our wallet and fill the air with harmful emissions. But will this soon be a thing of the past? Thanks to advancements in technology, such problems may decrease with the recent popularization of hybrid vehicles. Since the hybrid operates on a dual gas and electric system, the engine is able to reduce the amount of harmful emissions released in the air while cutting back on gasoline, which means better gas mileage. So what does this mean for the environment?
The gasoline-electric hybrid vehicles that are available on the market today do a couple of great things for the environment. First off, they reduce our consumption of gasoline, which is beneficial both in terms of reducing carbon dioxide and other regulated emissions.
Honda, Lexus, Ford, and Toyota are just a few manufacturers that sell hybrid vehicles. As dealerships rapidly continue to sell hybrids, Campus Connection observed why so many people are buying these vehicles.
The two main reasons why people buy hybrids are the gas mileage is 49.51, 49 city, 51 highway, and the carpool lane.
Most hybrids also come with a high occupancy vehicle carpool lane sticker. The carpool lane sticker allows single occupant hybrids access to the carpool lane once they have submitted a form called REG 1000. The DMV issues a sticker once the hybrid meets specified emission standards. Since the demand for the hybrid has reached an all-time high, some buyers may need to take a number.
Some dealerships have a waiting list, and some dealerships have like a first-come, first-served basis. It all depends on what dealership it is, but at either rate, it's a lot of people.
This has been Amber Jacobson for Campus Connection.
Guys, what do you got? Got a 28-year-old black male, got 3 gunshot wounds to the chest. 1 upper chest, 1 lower chest, 1 center. Bleeding a lot.
There are 2 paths a child can take.
Sir, try not to move. Still.
We have a 28-year-old male.
For over 25 years, we've been helping children choose the right one. Communities and schools, helping kids stay in school and prepare for life.
Here at the American Family Pet Expo, all types of animals are displayed.
hoping to get adopted and go home with a loving owner. There are many ways to adopt an animal, whether it be a dog, a cat, a rabbit, or even a rat. I had a chance to speak with several agencies here at the 2006 Pet Expo on the adoption process and how one can adopt an animal just this weekend.
Well, we're here to hopefully get some dogs adopted and to spread some information about the breed and also about pet adoption and knowing what it's all about and what it entails.
Tony Esposito traveled to the Pet Expo to find a companion to keep him company.
So we want to save a life and hopefully get a nice little dog that'll be with us the rest of our life.
Adoption is not the only way to save an animal's life. Being a foster parent is an option.
So all of the animals that you see here today are actually, being lovingly cared for in a foster home. So we do have a screening process, which we ask everyone to fill out. Either they can do it in person or online. There is a 2 to 3 day review process by the board of directors, and a home check is included also.
Marcia Mieta with the Great Pyrenees Rescue makes sure the dog is going to be a good companion.
The rescue program director will interview the potential owners and get a feel for what kind of dog they want, what's suitable for their lifestyle and for their home situation, and then she'll match up the appropriate dog in her kennel with them.
From dogs to cats, the Pet Expo had one goal in mind: to provide a safe new home for the adopted animal.
I know we'll have a great time as long as people are coming out and recognize the humane societies and animal rescue groups are a great resource for pets.
Get that pen ready to save an animal's life. This is Megan O'Donnell for Campus Connection.
And now we have Megan O'Donnell in the studio to talk with the president of SPCA LA.
Thank you, Madeline, for joining us today. Tell us about your position at the SPCLA.
I'm the president of SPCA-LA, and with that job comes a lot of responsibility, but also I get to come and talk to you and bring one of our animals out for a visit.
And who have you brought with us today?
I brought Naomi, who's a Chihuahua mix, and she's about 2 years old, and as you can see, she's just a real cuddler. She just wants to roll over and play.
And what is the adoption process through the SPCLA?
Well, anybody who would like to adopt a dog, because you have to realize that anyone can adopt dogs. The idea is to make sure that they keep the dog and not return the dog. So we have people fill out a questionnaire. We try to determine whether a dog is even the right pet. If they travel a lot or they're not home, sometimes they come in for a dog and they leave with a cat or a rabbit or something. And then we try to match up the family with the right kind of dog. And once they do that questionnaire and they fill out the adoption application, then they're approved for adoption and they can pick out a dog.
And I was recently at the Pet Expo, and tell us your purpose for being at the Pet Expo.
Well, our organization is 128 years old. And originally when we started, we were not only protecting animals, but women and children were also property under the law. And over 128 years, we've done a lot of adoptions. We have a lot of different programs, including domestic violence programs and animal-assisted therapy. So part of what we do at these outreach events is we just try to bring some awareness to our organization, because we only exist on funds provided by private individuals and foundations and grants, much like a university would. We just want to get awareness, get people to come in and find these dogs' homes. And of course, we also have cats and pocket pets, sometimes reptiles, sometimes birds. There's really no end to the guest list.
Well, I want to thank you, Madeline and Naomi, for joining us here today. Alexandra and Michael, back to you.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone, and in the process, maybe learn something yourself? Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Are you looking to buy your first home? In Southern California, the real estate market can get a little complicated, especially for young adults. Ryan Katawaki has this story.
As summer approaches, realtors in Southern California will begin gearing up for a new season of young buyers ready to enter the real estate market. For some students who are nearing college graduation, leaving a rented apartment can be the beginning of an exciting new stage in their lives.
I think having that own home to call your own and have something you can actually do whatever you want with is something we all would like.
Home prices are at an all-time high in Southern California. According to a recent article in the Los Angeles Times, the median home price in Los Angeles County is over $500,000. This may be discouraging news for first-time home buyers, and they may have to hold off on purchasing their first homes.
We're finding that the patterns are that parents whose children are almost grown young adults, that the parents are staying in the houses longer because they're figuring that probably the children are going to get out there, see what life is like, and come back.
Despite this trend, new developments continue to fuel the Southern California real estate market. In 2005, Data Quick Information Systems reports that over 10,000 new homes were sold in Los Angeles County. Rather than buying expensive cars and living beyond their means, young people are realizing the importance of home ownership.
Unfortunately, for a lot of people, but fortunately for us, we got lucky. We bought a house not too late when the appreciation was still skyrocketing.
Although homes in Southern California are very expensive, other options exist. Popular alternatives include purchasing a townhome or condo, or sharing the cost of living with a roommate or group of friends. Owning real estate is a great investment. Before purchasing a home, buyers should get their finances in order and consider exactly what they can afford. Organizations like the Fannie Mae Foundation and California Housing Finance Agency can be useful resources when beginning the search for a home. A financial consultant can also help young adults as they begin this often complicated journey.
So for a young person to start, they have to be patient and wait to build up enough money. And also not get taken by some of the expensive properties. Work with a financial professional to find out what you can afford.
Breaking into the real estate market is not impossible for young adults living in Southern California. Receiving the keys to our first home can be one of life's most memorable and satisfying moments. This has been Ryan Katawaki reporting for Campus Connection.